Welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. Here we are in the over-the-top truck that I said I wasn't going to drive. But I finally got it working for the most part. Get inside so it's not so loud. I finally got it working for the most part. Let's see if I can figure out. Trying to figure out probably shouldn't try and figure out anything right now, but over the top truck, minus those lights on top, every time I try to remove them, the game crashed for some reason. And get off the phone is in here. So yeah, I believe we're just going to Raton to take dynamite. It's not that far, although it gives us 10 hours to do it. It should only take us 3 hours, so it's not that long of a drive, but from Santa Fe, that was the only job that I could really find that was going to somewhere in New Mexico, kind of like where I wanted to stay, so I just stuck with it, or stuck with staying in New Mexico. I mean, we're not going to stay in New Mexico for the entire time, but I kind of, like I said, I still want to get the feel for New Mexico and what it's all about. I might need to use the other map. I don't know if I'm screaming at you guys or if I'm not talking loud enough, because it's having a bit of a problem. Like I said, the game was crashing and I kept trying to do things. I try to brighten up the game a little bit. I try to put on my graphics up to ultra, or I put them up to ultra. We'll see if it helps out a little bit. With that looks funny, that old vehicle. See if it helps out with the scenarios and it loading them in. I don't know if it's going to work, but this is, I guess, me testing it out to see if it's going to work properly. Because if it doesn't work properly, then I gotta either lower the events or possibly change them up or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but here we go with the slow blinker. This is like driving driving before that had the slow blinker. The what was it? Oh, the FLB had the slow blinker. So yeah, I ran into a barricade. I believe they got rid of the barricades, the where you're not supposed to go. It used to be like orange, or I don't know what it was, but there was like a barricade where you couldn't go, and I guess they got rid of them, so pretty much got to rely on the map, and the GPS in this truck isn't that great, so we're gonna see about that. Since I got into this truck, the oil light has been on the entire time. Not exactly sure why. There's not any real damage to it other than what I did to it when you guys weren't really, or when I wasn't recording. But since I got into this truck, it's been kind of messed up, so we'll see here. And I couldn't get the high-low gears on this truck like I do on my other trucks. How it goes. How I still do the splitter, but it goes from, like, I can do low or low-high, and one low and one high if I want to, but I always split them up to, like, go from one low to, I think it's like 3 low to 5 high, and I don't know what it is, but I don't really know exactly how I had them all set up, but in this truck, I've tried a bunch of different things, and all I can really do is do the H shifter, but I had to keep, you know, I don't have that nice, I wish we had buttons on the shifter itself, so I can, you know, push range or the splitter and, you know exactly which one. I'm just hitting 2 buttons, plus and minus, and I don't really know exactly how to use them correctly. And I've been playing this game for like 400 hours, something like that, so yeah, I have to figure that out eventually. And by eventually, I mean in the next couple weeks. So I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before, but there was an event that we passed, and you could see there was a cone on the side of the road, like to our right. There was a cone to the right, and then there was smoke coming out of nowhere. So I'm gonna have to figure out, you know, what's causing that. I don't know, so like I said, I upped my graphics to ultra, and we'll see if that does anything. And I made it a little bit more brighter. It was pretty low on brightness. It was like around 40. So I bumped it up to about 50% brightness, which is, you know, still low, but that's what the game has been on for since I've been playing it. So I'm gonna keep it at around 50%, because it is pretty bright for me, and I'm sure it's pretty bright for you guys as well. I don't want it to be overwhelmingly bright. And then in the last episode, I don't know what happened when we were at that stoplight, and it just all of a sudden changed. The light just went from like light to dark, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But it is Thanksgiving. When I release this, it's not going to be Thanksgiving anymore. But I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving. Hope you guys were, you know, with your friends, family, and whatnot. And yeah, I wasn't with my family. I was at a restaurant hanging out with some friends, I guess you'd say. We're going to stop in this rest area just to see what it looks like. I kind of saw a little bit of it. I glanced at it, the one on the left-hand side of the road, but I want to see what this one looks like. I mean, I'm sure they're all the same, but there's our engine brake that happens when we hit the brakes, automatic engine brake. Tired. I mean, like I said, I didn't really want to drive the over-the-top truck until I figured it out, but I kind of figured out the steering and the options. You're able to mess around with the steering and change it to basically fit whatever, if you have the G29, if you have the I forgot the other, Thrustmaster. I think the Thrustmaster's steering wheel turns like 2.5 rotations, something like that. mine only goes about 1.25, 1.5 rotations. So I didn't know in the options that you could mess around with that, but you know, like I said, I'm learning new things. Well, I didn't say this, but I'm learning new things in the options that I probably should have known a long time ago, but you know, I'm barely learning them as we truck along here. Get off the phone! Hey, the interior light's on. Turn on my lights. Or my bright lights. I like this truck now. I mean, I've always liked the Freightliner XL Classic, or Classic XL, or whatever it's called. We're almost to our destination, but I've always liked this truck. I just didn't like how the steering wheel was, and it, you know, I said in the last episode I didn't like, you know, how you couldn't see that I was barely turning, but now you can see it. So I don't have a problem driving this truck, but I just don't want it to crash on me. It doesn't look like it's lagging or losing frames. It is kind of, I don't know, out in the distance, stuff kind of looks blurry. I don't know. And then as we get closer, it looks better, but I don't know. I gotta see what that's all about. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what truck I should go with. Basically going with, you know, whatever I want. You know, if you guys want to see a specific truck, let me know. If you want to see me go back to my other Peterbilt 389, I'll go back to that one. Getting off here. So basically the engine brake, the automatic engine brake is basically just me hitting the brakes. If I hit the brakes at all, it turns on. And then there's some areas that I went through when I wasn't recording that says use of engine brake. I see a little loss of frame rate right here, but it says use of engine brake prohibited in this area. So it's kind of like realistic in a sense that in certain areas you can't use your engine brake. Rat. I forgot to do this drive during the day, but we're turning here. Yeah, they had two spots for the GPS, one on the left, and then there was one on the right, but it was too much, I don't know, it was in my way too much. You know how I am with things in my way. But I kind of moved the camera back a little bit because, you know, in real life you'd be able to see out the entire front windshield. And then, you know, even see the right side, but, you know, not everything. I shouldn't be stopping in this. Come on. There's a stop sign right there. That's weird. Oh, it's not a stop sign, it's a railroad crossing. It looked like a stop sign from the side we were at. So BHP, I believe now is, or whatever this is up here, I believe this BHP is, oh no, we're not going to BHP. This one is Coastline Mining Company. Maybe not, I don't know. Actually, it looks different. Or maybe the one we're going to is Coastline Mining Company. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but it's impossible to get in and out. I think this is the one we're going to. It doesn't say that on the map anymore. That was kind of weird. Yeah, this is the one that I don't like getting in and out of because it's BHP. Yeah. because we have this scale over here for some weird reason. What I was getting to earlier as well, I didn't really get to, was I didn't like all the grinding of the gears that was happening. Hopefully we get this truck on here without getting stuck on the side like it looks like it's about to. I think we got it. The grinding of the gears. I mean, I know that was mainly my fault, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's a new truck. I don't know what it is, but it just sounds horrific. So where are we going with this? That's what I need to know right now. Oh, we're backing it up. That's gonna be... Let me lower the ratio. Backing this one up. This one should be interesting. How the cone, even the cones are sitting there floating in the air. I like the force feedback it's giving me though. This one should be quite interesting. Have that much. Well, I might have a little bit. Clear. What are we hitting? Is that just the terrain? Yeah. Okay. Stick my head out the window. No, wrong way. I like the movement that the trailer makes. How it's, you know, the stability of it is not that great. Is that something it would really do, you know? I am talking to myself, but by the time it does go out, I won't be talking to myself. Okay, this is weird. Cut it. I wonder how close I am to the side. Not close at all, but this. How do we look? Pretty bad. Pretty bad. This one, I knew it was going to be tough. I ended up picking the longer trailer because I always like the bigger trailers. They're more of a challenge to obviously drive around and to park, but you know, I didn't know that I was going to be coming here to the worst place on earth to park. Definitely close to that, or hitting that. Yeah. I might be able to get it shortly. I'll just turn it. Clutch. What are we hitting? We're off by a whole lot. So I need to cut it closer to the driver's side. So let's try this again. How about you get off the phone and help me back this thing up, woman? No? Don't want to? Alright, let's put it in gear so we don't roll forward. Even though, you know, we won't roll forward. But if I if I stop, if I let go of the brake, yeah, it rolls forward a little bit. What am I doing here? Yeah, it's not the greatest. It is pretty hard to turn the steering wheel when the truck's off, like it would be if you were, you know, had like a non-power steering vehicle, or you turned your car off and were able to do it. But you know, most of them have steering wheel locks, so that's not the point. But we're gonna detach, even though we're pretty off. But I don't think I can get it straighter than that in here. Just being honest with you guys. So excellent, 173 miles, 4 hours, 12 minutes, 24 gallons consumed, $25,420 with 628 XP. It wasn't that long of a drive, so I'm going to pick another one. We're going to be driving overnight, or at night, unless I can find something. Reservoir tank. I would do that one, but look at that road. I don't know. Wish I had your guys' opinion, like in a live stream or something. That would be crazy to go all the way to Phoenix with that. They better give me more than 89 grand. Wow, that's far. Yeah. So basically, I got just two. Well, Farmington, pretty far. I think I'm gonna pick this one here. It's at Beezer Homes. We're dropping off at something like the one we're at. So I'm gonna pick that one. Let's get back in our truck, turn it on, change the gear ratio, turn off the parking brake. I hope it's not too quiet for you guys. I did turn down the sound in the game. How do I get out of here? Straight. I did turn down the sound in the game just for the because I noticed in a couple of videos that that you couldn't hear me very much, and that my sound seemed like it was way too high, so I kind of lowered the in-game sound, the master volume. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I did change a few things. I did change a few things from the last video to this video. Like I said, with all the stuff I went through just to try and get this truck working for us, just so that, I think it's right here. So wow. I was gonna turn off the automatic engine brake because I don't really like it. I like to use it, but not all the time. You know what I mean? Freight market. It's this one. No. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Is it this one? I thought I didn't pick this one. Well, I guess I'll have to go with this one. Wait a second. Well, no. It was a reservoir tank. Well, I guess I'll just make it an extra long job. I thought I had picked the Albuquerque one, but I'll take this one, I guess. Doesn't really mean much to me. I got all the time in the world. Reverse 3, not 4. The steering. The steering is pretty much like my other truck. I mean, if I had like a single cab truck, it would probably be, you know, better suit my needs, but I like the big trucks. I like the bigger trucks. People usually cut this stuff out of videos, but I really don't care. Controls, or is it keys and buttons? Nope, it's not this. It's keys and buttons, I think. No, it's not keys and buttons. Oh, what is it under? Wish I could. Let me see. See, random road events. Just put it. I'll put it at half. Time zones. Only time, full info. Weird. I guess I'll have to. See, I always. Sorry. It's too busy looking at something. Yeah. Let's get it out of the way. Every time I go into the options menu, I see something new, and I want to turn it on, but I don't know how it's going to affect, you know, what I'm doing at the moment. So I should probably just leave it alone. Don't hit the stop sign. No train, no train. Can't stop that fast. And they also have, which, like I said, I still need to mess with it, realistic fuel consumption. I thought it was already on, but apparently it's not on, so I gotta mess with that here in the future. There's a lot of stuff I gotta, you know, mess around with. I feel like this truck stops way too fast. Call me super ADD. No. I just like lose focus, start talking about something completely different than what I was talking about. So I put in Jazzy Cat's latest traffic. That's me messing with the range and the splitter. Latest traffic pack. I had version 2.6. It's now on 3.6 or 3.5, something to that effect, or something to that number. Hey, it's a Crown Vic. It's not a Taurus. So I'm almost all over the road. Keep thinking this is a new episode, but it's not. Supposed to. Well, most people don't use engine brake going uphill, because then you'll stall out. Yeah, but let me know if you guys like this truck. I know you're not gonna let me know. but maybe Peter will let me know. Peter's an avid follower of mine. He likes to listen to me ramble on and on. I tend to do that. I got nothing else to do. I mean, if I'm recording these videos, if I'm not talking, I don't know if that's better for you guys, but I personally love talking. You know, I always tell people that I talk to, I'm like, if you need, like in real life, I'm like, if you need me, if you want me to shut up, just tell me, because I will, you know. I'll just keep talking your ear off. So, or I guess you'd call it all the, well, I don't know what you call it, but all the internet deals for games. I went and got this, I bought this game, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. It's kind of like LA Noir, how you gotta, you're a detective and you gotta figure out, basically, if somebody's lying to you, you know, look at their clothes, look at their face, look at everything, and, you know, it's like a crime mystery detective type of game. And I really do like those type of games, but the Sherlock Holmes one, I wasn't really a fan of, and I ended up purchasing it for like $14 or something like that. And since Steam knows me by now, I'm one of those people that returns games because they're just, I mean, I don't return them for like no reason. They're like, some of them glitch out, some of them don't work with my system, and I have a 1070 GTX graphics card, which is, you know, it's a pretty good one. It's not like, you know, what people have nowadays, 2017, 2018. Everybody's got like a 1080 now or 1080 Ti, but I got a 1070 GTX GeForce graphics card, and it's, you know, it's pretty good. Intel 5 or an i5 processor. I wish I had an i7 that was at least, you know, 4 gigahertz, but mine only pushes out, I think it's like 2.4, and I can overclock it to like 3.2, but I don't know how to do that. And my power supply on this particular computer that I got last year around this time, when I first started gaming, was, or at the time it was, you know, I didn't really think anything of it, but now it's nothing. The power supply is only, I believe, 300 watts. And if I ever wanted to get, like, upgrade any components or do anything like that, I'd have to get maybe 500-600 watt power supply to run all that stuff. Or if I, you know, maybe get a new motherboard, or, you know, I don't know if I gotta change gears, or maybe I don't. I don't know that much about computers, about the insides of computers, but I know that my computer is pretty good because I can play some really awesome games. But some games are just old, and I just buy them because the reviews are really good, and I don't really think about them. So I ended up getting the Sherlock Holmes game, or whatever it's called, The Devil's Daughter, and it, you know, it had good reviews, but I don't know. I wish it was set in like a time like LA Noir is. I mean, LA Noir is, you know, it's still old. It's like the 60s or 70s, but this one's way back in the horse and carriage days. I don't really know much about Sherlock Holmes, so you know, I didn't do my homework on that stuff. But anyways, I ended up I bought it, and then I played it for about an hour, and I got over it real quick, so I ended up not returning it. I ended up just erasing it from my library, or uninstalling it. I can, you know, reinstall it. I don't know what's going on down there in the lower right hand corner. keeps flickering. I just noticed that. But yeah, I just ended up uninstalling it. Maybe I don't know. I can't gift it to anybody, but if I could, I would gift it to somebody. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. So, and then I wanted to get a racing game, but Project Cars 2 is out, and it's people say it's just like Project Cars 1. When you read reviews for things, at least in my eyes, I get so caught up in people's reviews that it makes me not want to play the games, unfortunately. And instead of playing the game for myself, I end up going off of what other people say, even if I really think highly of the game. The only game that I really got into that I never thought I was going to get into, which basically is Rainbow Six. I mean, I knew I'd love the tutorial and single player playing by myself, but I never thought I would get into the multiplayer part of it. And I really got into the multiplayer game, and I like playing with other people. As much as there's a lot of people that like to ruin it, a lot of trolls in there that just end up killing you and trying to ruin the game for you. But I've been playing it so long that that stuff doesn't really get to me anymore. But I don't know if I really want. I mean, I have Mafia 3, Mafia 2. I wish there was a game like Sleeping Dogs, either like another series to that, or something. Like, I wish they would come out with a newer version. Not necessarily the same game, but how like GTA 5, GTA 3, San Andreas, and then 4, and Liberty City, and then I think it was 4, Liberty, or whatever. You guys know what I mean. And they went to 5. I wish Sleeping Dogs would have done that, because that game was actually really fun for me, and I really love GTA 5 as well. The storyline. I like games that are good, role-playing games, single-player games. Wildlands, Tom Clancy's Wildlands was another one. Great storyline. And I'm not a big fan of like fantasy games, like a lot of people like Prey and Dishonored and Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. I wish I was into stuff like that, but I'm not, unfortunately. I try to get into Wolfenstein, I believe it's called. But as soon as they came out with as soon as I started playing that game, it was really awesome. And then, there we go with my gear grinding. I'm going downhill or uphill. As soon as I started playing that game, and I was like, man, this game is pretty cool. And then Wolfenstein 1, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Wolfenstein, something like that. I got past I think it was 20 minutes into the game, and there was these weird monster dog things, and I was like, nope, I'm out. I ended up uninstalling it, taking it off my computer. I'm like, I can't get into stuff like that. But for some reason, I do like games like Batman Arkham Knight, even though that's fantasy. I don't know if it's a certain fantasy that I like. I never really watched any of the Batman movies other than the first one that came out with Jack Nicholson or Nicholas or whatever, and Sharon Stone back in the day. I think it was 1980 something. I just liked that first Batman car, and then they changed it up, put different characters, and I never really got into it, but I can play the game all day long. the Arkham Knight game, I played it a few times. My point is I wish other games, I wish the games that I really enjoyed, is what I'm trying to say, did that. Like I said, Sleeping Dogs, GTA 5, I wish I had more of a story. That game's been out for what, 3 or 4 years now. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it's been quite a while. But they're always adding new stuff to the multiplayer and even the single player. I don't know if it's single player. I think it's the multiplayer, all online stuff, online gaming. They're adding, like, they always add new stuff. I checked out City Car Driving, just like the reviews. It doesn't look that great. One game I am considering buying once it develops a little bit more is Emerge NYC. It's like a firefighting ambulance type of game. They had another version. I think it was like a 2-dimensional game back in the day, where you kind of just crashed into the rail. Where you kind of look at the game from above. I'm into games like that. Not where you're looking from above, but when they develop into, you know, 3-dimensional games. They kind of remind me of simulators, you know. So I don't know. I'm on the hunt for some new games and just that could turn into a series, kind of like American Truck. Like I do play, like you guys know, I play a car mechanic simulator, and that game's really fun too. But you know, a lot of people don't really seem to like it as far as I'm playing it. I didn't really get that many views on it. Out of all the games that I've played, Mafia 3 and Tomb Raider and Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six probably, at the time when I was playing multiplayer, got probably as many views as this game did. So like I said, I can ramble on and on and on and on. But I did want to talk about other series of games that I want to start playing and coming out with and stuff like that. I'm always open to new ideas. If anybody has any, let me know. I'm always open to new ideas. One of my viewers wanted me to play Tomb Raider back in the Rise of the Tomb Raider. So I started to play Rise of the Tomb Raider, and in between Rise of the Tomb Raider, I figure I gotta get to know more of the story, so I went and got the Tomb Raider before that, so that I could see what I was playing, because I really didn't know. I mean, I've heard of Lara Croft, but I think everybody has. But you don't really, when you start playing a game, I didn't want to just play it for, I'm gonna stop here and get fuel. I don't think I need fuel, but let's stop here. I guess I'll stop on this side. That pole is right there. Hopefully I don't hit it. In the middle of talking about something. I'll get back to it. The lovely sound of getting gas. That's all I got. 56 gallons. Try to time it. I try to time it just right. What's that noise? See, I don't know. I'll get back to my game's talk in a minute, but I don't know what it is about this truck that makes it, I mean, obviously it's way older than the Peterbilt 579 that I was driving, but I don't seem to be grinding the gears as much, and I'm driving it the same way. I mean, it's not like I played a lot between the last episode. I only really play when I'm recording. The only time I actually do like drive around is when I'm driving to other locations to pick up, to basically start another recording, or I'll just go somewhere, go to a sleeping spot, I'll sleep there, and then I'll wake up, I'll get gas or something, and then when I start recording, I'm already at the, getting ready to pick up the new job, or already have picked it up and getting ready to go. So that's the only time I'm really driving. So obviously I can't learn, I mean, I can't like, you know, pick it up that quickly. But it seems like that Peterbilt 579 was a lot different when it came to shifting, and you know, each vehicle can have its own like settings, or I believe anyway within the game that, you know, some older trucks could be a little bit less lenient on the clutch than a newer truck would be, you know, kind of like old cars and new cars. You drive like a 1995 Honda Civic or a 2017 Honda Civic manual transmission, the clutch is going to be a lot different. It's not going to be as lenient as the older one would be, so possibly that's what could be happening when I'm driving this truck as compared to the other one. Get off the phone! Go! There's the button right above the radio next to the parking brake. Yellow parking brake. So when I plug the USB in for my steering wheel, I forget which USB that I'm using, because sometimes I plug my headphones into, I plug them all into the front one on my computer instead of using the back ones, but I have two in the front, but I forget which one I put it in, so every time I use a different USB, the controls are different than what I had on my last episode. So I guess I used the bottom USB as opposed to the top USB on my last recording, and it messes up. I have to relearn all the buttons and, you know, which ones do what. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I was trying to find my trailer brake earlier, but I couldn't find it. So you know, when we picked up this job, I was like, yeah, fine, you know, let's just forget it. I'll just continue. I'll just pretend like that didn't happen. But I ended up telling you guys, so it doesn't really matter. But I think I'm going to turn on between recordings, and by the next recording, I think I'm going to turn on realistic fuel consumption and maybe a few other things. Good truck over there. Maybe a few other things, just to, you know, change things up a little bit. Which way I'm going? I'll stay in the right lane until. Engine brake use prohibited. I'll stop right at the line. Right at the marker, or whatever it was. the lights were longer. There's longer yellow lights, but the lights aren't timed. They're all like, they all seem to be like, all green lights seem to only be a few seconds, like 10 seconds or something crazy like that. I don't know what was back there. If we can see it from here. Just a closed road. Whoa, whoa. What did I say? Love. Pawn shop. For lease. I was gonna get into the other lane, but I don't know if we're making a left or a right up here, so... Well, I don't think it matters. Nobody's coming up on the lane. And then I think what messed up, what crashed my game earlier was a pretty cool city. What crashed my game earlier was I put in like 2 new trucks, and I think that's what caused my game to crash. But I don't know. But then again, I don't know, because here's a Volvo. I put in a Volvo 7 something. It's a different one that, I mean, I don't know if it's made by Aradeth, but it might be one of those, actually. I've never seen them parked out there before. Maybe I have. I don't know. Cool little city. This nose is quite big as well. I haven't really been paying attention. I've been talking a lot, so all those twisty roads that we were going down, I was like, I hope we don't, you know, pass by another truck and end up, you know, hitting each other, because that would suck. So I'm glad we kind of drove it overnight, in a sense that we didn't have to deal with a lot of traffic. Because we weren't, you know, we were in 18th gear, but we were only going about 50-something miles an hour, so. But it's tight little roads where you're making these turns. You gotta be really, see. Truck turn on. What is that mess? I hit the curb. I was like, what did I hit? Turn on your lights, buddy. I think this one's a little, it might be a little slower than the other one. It reminds me of the bus in Speed. Everybody to the right side of the bus, and then they show like the blinker. in traffic. I like the feeling though. The feeling when you're driving on dirt as opposed to driving on the roads. Driving on the road, it's a lot different of a feeling, at least for me on the steering wheel. No, that's too high. Straighten out a lot of it. There we go. As soon as I start talking about it again, start grinding the gears up. Not that much. See if I can get it over a little bit more. And then bring it back. It's weird because it's in this. Whoa. Huh. I was gonna say it's weird because it seems like I keep coming in at an angle, but what does that look like? Not bad. It's a little crookedy, but a little crookedy. It's weird that the headlights stay on. There's no parking brakes. I mean parking lights. Alright, let's drop this up. Excellent, 320 miles, 7 hours, 54 minutes, 43.8 gallons consumed, $31,314 with 1,086 XP. And obviously we can only do just in time. So I didn't really like this on the Kenworth. It says Kenworth all the way down it. I wish we could replace them. But for some reason, anytime I try and edit this truck, my game crashes. So obviously I'm going to have to keep her, and I'm going to have to keep these lights up here, at least till I figure out what exactly is causing the crash. So yeah, let's see the job market, even though it's not going to be this, or it might be the same actually, because it's morning time and I won't be worried that much about what's going to change. Oh, we can go to Tucumcari is what I'm guessing. Or Alamogordo with the important delivery. Petroleum, Barstow. We are going to have to go back to Arizona again. But like I said, for right now, I do enjoy driving around New Mexico and seeing what I paid for, basically. Still dropping off. That's weird. Inside, park and brake. See if I could find a. Oh, there's plenty of stuff here. There's our recruitment. We can fix our truck, get gas. CVS Pharmacy. I bet that's like what 7-Eleven or whatever that store used to be. The little Walmart used to be. That's probably what that is now. Blue Line Rental. I don't know what that is, but all these things changed. They're not like Walmarts anymore. They're all um, like Beezer Homes, I think, came with the game. BHP, I don't know about CVS. I know CVS didn't come with the game, but uh, a couple of these work and a couple of these, have the original. I think Beezer Homes has its original name, obviously. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get a new one, uh, at least a new um, mod to at least make the stores at least not be all the same as far as you know what I mean. Hopefully. Probably not going to drive anywhere, but pull out here. Get out of the way for the time being. I don't know why those lights stay on, like I said, but anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Why did it go to my home screen?